this where you have to set the equations equal. Hopefully you remember us doing that. Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah, the
Okay,
I
good.
think
Just
so,
making
'cause
sure.
we had to put in, there were certain numbers that we were given that we had to put in for Y and X, right?
Yeah, we're kind of past that. I mean, that's not a very common question, so I don't want to like emphasize that. But what is common is you might get two equations like this, and you have to set them equal to each other. Okay. And then we talked about the idea of moving the smaller to the larger. Okay. So which is smaller, 4x or negative 1x? Which is
Negative
smaller?
1.
So you add 1x to both sides. This becomes 5x plus 3 equals negative 2. So notice it's a two-step equation.
And then you would
What would you do next?
subtract 3 from 3 and negative 2.
Yep, very good. Yep. So that becomes 5x equals negative 5. And then you divide both sides by 5.
And then that's the final answer.
That's the final answer. There is another thing to do, but we're gonna just focus on this for the time being. So let me give you one to try here. And let me know if you need to scroll to get any of this down in your notes. So I do want to clear the screen for this one.
Did you put another one on there, or are you?
No, I'm
finding
just
it?
asking, do you need to get any of this
Oh.
down? 'Cause I'm about to put up another question.
I think I got that down. And then
Okay.
it would be like in the question they would give you what numbers you would put in, right? Or no?
No, you have to solve it. You have to solve. You set the equations equal and then solve like we just did.
Oh, okay, yeah, because you would put you would do 1 for Y, or like for a variable,
Yeah.
right?
No, we're setting the equations equal. We're setting the equations equal. So we're writing 4x plus 3 equals minus 1x minus 2.
Oh, never mind. Okay. That's where I got mixed up last time, is I thought the Y was included in the whole thing. Never mind. Okay, I remember now.
So what I had here? Go ahead and take a look at this.
So 4x plus 1 equals 1x minus 2. And then one x. So I would subtract 1x from 1x and 4x. Right, because 1 is the smaller number.
That's right. 1x is smaller than 4x. That's why you move it.
But the number you subtract from is the 4x, right?
That's right. That's right. You're
Okay.
moving the variable is what you're essentially doing.
So 3. Oh, alarm. And then plus 1 equals negative 2. And subtract 1 from negative 2 and 1. And then -2 minus 1 is -3. So negative. So is the answer x equals -1? Again, we did that one already,
Yeah.
right? Or is that the same?
Well, it's a lot of them end up being that for a variety of reasons, but yeah, you get 3x plus 1 equals -2, subtract 1, subtract 1. 3x equals -3, divide by 3. X equals -1. Good. Okay. So that's good. That's really good. Any questions on that?
No, I think yeah, I remember.
Okay.
I just had to remember how to like write it out.
All right. So there is another piece to this. Okay. So the piece is you put the number back into one of the equations. So that's, we haven't done that yet. So like once you've done this, you have to pick an equation like this one here and put the variable back in. Okay. 4 times -1 plus 1. Does that make sense? Like,
And is that just how you check it? Is -1 still the answer?
well, x is next. See how there's two variables?
Mhm.
The answer is that x equals a number and y equals a number.
So it's solving for x basically. So
Well, we'd already
you
solved for
would
x.
so would the answer be rewriting that and then putting the 1 in there?
Yeah, you're putting 1 in for x and 1 in for x. -1. -1 for x, -1 in for x.
And then do you have to solve for y or no?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to show you. 4 times -1 plus 1 is -4 plus 1 is -3. Do you see that?
Okay.
Now, if you put it in the other equation, you get -1 minus 2, which is also -3, and they're supposed to be the same. They're supposed to be the same.
Okay.
All right, so let's go back to the previous problem that we did. So we solved this one already, and we found, I'm gonna grab this coin. I solved this first, and you got x equals -1. And I know maybe you think, okay, it's always -1, but it's not. It, like whatever the variable is, it is. Whatever you end up getting, you get. So you have to put this back in, though. You put this back into the other equation to get the other one. So y is 4 times -1 plus 3. Okay, which is -4 plus 3, which is -1.
Okay.
Right? Is that clear?
I think so.
Okay, so we're gonna do some more examples. I just want you to see the process. They're like, yes, you solve for x, and then you go and then you go and put it in for the other variable. So let me grab some more problems here. We did a bunch the other day, so I'm gonna just grab a few of those for us to work on. Okay, so here we go. Let me actually just grab a snip of this. All right, so, yeah, I mean, so I'd like you to solve this for X, just like we've been doing. Set the equations equal to each other.
Equals -6x. So would -6x be the smaller number?
You're gonna move that to the other side.
Or would it be 3?
Nope, it's -6x. It's
Okay.
the one that's the more negative, like the smaller in this case actually means the one that's like more to the left on the number line. Like it's like, okay, here's 3, here's -6. This is smaller. This is
Okay.
larger.
So I would add 6 to 3. 6 and then 9. +4 equals +5. Add 4. Oh, okay. Interesting. Also 9. And then, unless I did it wrong, the answer would be positive. X equals +1. Did I do it wrong?
No,
I
no,
might have added
that's right. That's
something
right.
wrong.
Sorry, I was looking at something
Okay.
else. Yes. Yes. So X is 1. So now what you do is you what you do now is you put that variable back into one equation or the other.
Does it matter which one? Because they both have to
Does-
be equal, right?
Yeah, it'll be the same. So like if you're really unsure, you could try both, but
So 3 times 1 minus 4. That'd be -1.
yes.
And
You
then
got it.
-6 times 1 plus 5 would also be -1.
Yes, and it's supposed to be. It's
Okay.
supposed to be. But you can always check it. You always like, okay, did that actually work? And it should give you the same result.
And so -1 is y.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, really good. We're making a lot of progress here, which is always great. So let me have you try another one here, and I want you to solve for both X and Y. Okay. So just like you've been doing, set the equations equal. That allows you to solve for X. Then use one equation or the other to solve for Y.
So let's see. 5x 3 4x plus. So 5 minus 4. X is -2, and then
Good. So
let me
now
put it in for the Y.
Good.
Times -2. Is Y -7?
It is -7. Yeah, very good. Okay. You're really getting the hang of this. That's fantastic. Let's see if I got one that's a little different. Fortunately, like a lot of the answers end up being the same, so it's a little frustrating because there a lot of them are 1 or whatever. But okay, you ready to try something new?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me quickly look at the pages you sent just to make sure I didn't miss anything here. Okay, so we'll look at this question together. So it's a little bit, I think it could throw you off, even though you know everything to do to be able to solve this, okay? So it says, where does the line y equals x, I'm just gonna rewrite that, y equals x, intersect with the equation y equals -x, okay? So here's what we've been doing forever. We're setting the equations equal. So x equals -x, right? But there's no numbers. Right? There's no numbers. There's just 1x equals -x.
So would
Is
that
that
just be
okay?
the answer?
No.
Oh.
Which is smaller, at 1x or -1x?
-1x.
Okay, so you're going to add 1x to both sides. Okay. So on the left, it's 2x. What is it on the right? What is -1x plus 1x?
Wait, I'm confused. It's not -1x isn't smaller?
No, it is. It is. I'm asking that what is the result on the
Oh,
right-hand side? What does the right-hand side become? What is -1x plus 1x?
shit. Okay. 0?
It's
No.
0. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
it is?
0.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. Yes. So now you don't look at the side, you don't look at the 0, you look at the side with the variable. What do you undo? What are you undoing now to solve for x? What is this 2 doing to the x?
Multiplication.
So you divide by 2. What is 0 divided by 2?
0.
There you go. Now, ordered pairs are written in the form x comma y. Do any of these have x as being 0?
C.
Yes. Good. Okay. You ready to do another problem here, or try something new here? It's related to what we've been doing, but it's a little more difficult.
You can try the new thing.
Okay. All right. You just really quickly need to pull up one of my worksheets. This is still the substitution worksheet. It's available on the website. So the next type of problem we'll see, I'm gonna just go ahead and grab a problem here from the worksheet is so the systems aren't usually nice like we've been seeing. They're usually a little bit more complicated. So the first equation here, and a system, by the way, just means you have 2 or more. Okay. So the first equation, 3x plus y equals 8. Second equation is y equals -2x plus 6. Okay. So substitution means you take this right here and you put it in for y. And the reason you can do that is because it's already solved for y. See how the second equation is already solved for y? Yes, no, maybe so. The second equation already says y equals, it's already solved for y. So the first equation is 3x plus y equals 8. But instead of the y, you don't put y there, you put the -2x plus 6. You write 3x plus negative 2x plus 6 equals 8.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you just replace it. Now, we've solved equations like this where you have variables stuff on the same side. So do you remember how we talked about you have to combine like terms? Are there any like terms on the left?
No, yes, 2x and negative, no,
Okay,
negative 2x and 3x.
so what do those add up to?
Let's see. Oops, meant 2, negative 2. And you add them, right?
Well, yes, I mean, one's positive, one's negative.
So it'd be 1.
1x plus 6 equals 8. How do you solve this equation?
Would you do it like the other ones where you would subtract 6 from 8 and then
Yes.
divide that
Yep.
by 1?
Sure. Yeah, and you don't need divide by 1 because dividing by 1 doesn't change anything.
Oh, yeah, but like the same thing with the what's it called? Reversing the operations.
Yeah. Okay, so let's look at another problem here. And this is very similar to the one we just did. Okay. You are going to you're going to take, see how the second equation is already solved for y? That's key. You got to see that the second or an equation is already solved for y. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, what that means is that's going in for y. So instead of y, you're going to put in minus 5x plus 6. So 2x minus 5x plus 6, that's the y, that's really the y there, equals negative 3. Please look at that and just see if you are okay with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
And
you
then
can
you would combine like terms, and then for the
exactly,
rest of
yes.
it, you would solve it like with the reversing the order of operations.
Yes. So could you give that a try from here, please?
2x. Is it positive 3?
Okay. Minus 3x plus 6 equals minus 3. Yes, when you subtract 6 from both sides, minus 3x equals minus 9. Divide by minus 3, x equals 3. Good. You ready to try one on your own, start to finish?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got one up here. It's going to be just a tiny bit more difficult than what we've been doing, but I mean, there's no reason you can't do it. It's just like the examples. All right, so give that a try, please.
Is it +4?
Saying x equals 4, this one?
Mhm.
Let me, I should need to be able to check this. This is, we just double check, type 2, 16. Yes, x is 4. Good. Okay, so now I want you to take that 4 and put it into the second equation for x. So I want you to take 3 times 4 and then subtract 5.
Seven?
7. So y equals 7. Good. Okay, you ready to try another? It's going really fast. This is good.
Yeah, I think I'm ready for another one.
Yeah.
X is 2. No,
Like that?
yeah,
I'm asking. I don't know yet. Just making
I think
sure.
so.
Yes, x is 2. Good. So use the top equation to get y.
8?
Yes, y is equal to 8. Very good. Okay, so you're doing great. So, the moment you think you've got it, what happens?
It's confusing.
Well, I call it a little wrinkle, a little modification. So it's not that it's always solved for y. Okay, sometimes it's solved for x. Do you see how this is solved for x?
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is you take this and you put it back in for x instead of y. Right now, in principle, that shouldn't be a big deal, but it's awkward. It's weird. It's but you just do the same thing. So it becomes minus 2y minus 7. That's the x. Minus 4y equals 5. Right now, just like before, you combine like terms. You've got minus 2y minus 4y. That becomes minus 6y. Any questions on that?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
And then
minus
you would
7.
add 7 to 5.
Great. At 7 minus 6y equals 12. Divide by negative 6. Y
Okay.
equals -2. Now,
Yeah.
the difference here is you got y first, which, okay, good, bad, and different. That's just the way it is. So now you take that y value and you put it back in. And the question some students ask is like, well, what equation do I use? Well, use the one where it's already solved for the other variable. So you put that one in here.
Okay.
So could you do that? Could you solve that for x for us, please?
Would it end up being positive 4, -2 times -2 since
Yes.
they're both negatives? Okay. So 4 minus 7. -3.
Yeah. Y equals -3. Good. Okay. You ready to try one here?
Yeah.
All right.
Does y equal 3?
Okay. So keep going, and I want you
And
to solve
then
for
let's
X.
put it in for the 4y. So it would be 4 times 3. Is it 7?
7. Yeah. X equals 7. Good. Okay. All right. So how do you feel about that?
It's okay. It's just I just gotta remember where to put everything in.
Sure. Yeah. No, that makes sense. So you have a question. Sorry, man. I'm looking for a problem. We're kind of close to uh, we're not quite, we're close. Okay, we actually need to do a few more. So all right. Unfortunately, they do get more difficult. How do I want to do this? Yeah, I'm trying to do this kind of nicely, but I'm worried the next grouping you're gonna not like. But look, we got to do it anyway. So we got to do a bunch of examples. That's what we'll do. Okay. So just like the previous set of problems, y is already solved for. Do you see that? This is already solved for y. Is that clear? That's already solved for y, just like before.
Yeah, so I would put
Okay.
in
The problem is there's a subtraction now in front of the y. It's minus y like that. Okay, so this actually goes in parentheses this time. So it's minus 5x minus parentheses minus 4x plus 7 equals -11.
oh,
So it's different. The reason we didn't have them before is because it was plus. And if you remember, plus is fine, but when there's a minus on the outside, you do need the parentheses.
and then you just do it. Would you just do it the same way where you would combine 5 and 4?
You have to distribute the negative first.
The parentheses is just to like separate those two negatives from being together.
Yeah, so this becomes minus 5x. plus 4x minus 7 equals negative 11.
Wait, you swap the signs, you distribute it?
Yes,
Oh, okay. So then you would combine
yes,
-5 and +4.
yes. So why don't you work this out from here and tell me what you come up with?
-1x. Add 7. So is y +4? Or
Yes.
no, it would be
Yep.
x. X would be
Yeah,
+4.
that's just +4. Good.
We're doing the x
Now,
ones. Okay.
now you got to go back to the equation, right? One equation or the other. Let me grab this equation.
Doesn't
And
matter which one?
well, it does not, but you usually want to do the easy one if you can.
Okay. So -4 times 4 plus 7. -9. Y equals -9.
It's very good. Okay, so is it clear? Like we substitute, if it's negative variable, you have to put it in parentheses, put it in parentheses, distribute the negative to both. Is that okay?
Yeah, I just gotta remember which is which when I see them.
Yeah, so here is one for you to try. If you get stuck, let me know. We'll work another one out together, but it's the same idea as the previous one, just different numbers.
So 7. So is x, no wait.
You're solving for X first, this one.
I didn't do it right. I'm getting like a 0.5 as my answer.
Okay, so again, you're putting
I have to
that
rewrite
in.
it.
putting that in for y, but y is really in parentheses. So 7x minus 5x minus 3 equals -9. Do you have something like this written down?
Yeah, I'd gotten all the way down to the very bottom.
Okay, did you distribute the negative to both? 7x
Yeah. So I
plus
made them both
5x
positive,
plus 3
and
equals
then
-9. So 12x plus 3 equals -9. You should get a whole number for your
oh
answer.
wait, because it's -9. It would be -9 minus 3, right?
Yep. Subtract 3 from both
Oh,
sides.
I must have put it in
12x.
wrong in the calculator because I got -6. Now I'm getting -12.
Okay.
And so it would end up being, it would be -12 divided by 12. So it would be x equals -1.
And then you go back and you can use, either equation, but I'd use the first one. And I'd solve for
So neg
y.
-5 times -1 equals. Is it 2? Y equals 2?
It is y equals 2. Good. Very good. Okay, let's have you try another one here. Again, not trying to be the same thing. Make sure you go through all those steps like we've been doing, but go ahead and give this a try, and I'll be right back in 30 seconds or less if you have questions. How are you doing on this one?
Does y equal 19?
No, that's way too big. So let's look at this together. So 4x minus 3x minus 2 equals 5. Is that what you have in parentheses?
Oh, I didn't do the parentheses because there aren't two negative signs. I thought there had to be two negative signs.
Nope, just the one in front of the y.
So you distribute it?
Yeah, so it becomes 4x minus 3x plus 2 equals 5, like that. Go ahead and try solving that from there.
So 1x plus 2. So it would end up being 5 minus 2. So it would be 3. Y equals 3.
So we got
Or
x
no,
plus 2,
wait. Yeah,
x is 3.
okay. X, yeah. And then you would put that in for the 3x one, right?
Yeah, you put that back in here and solve for y.
So 7?
Yes, y equals 7. Good. Okay. So we're getting really close to being able to do some of the problems that you sent over in 9.9.1. I'm sorry, practice 10. Sorry, practice 10. So,
Okay.
we're kind of, going to be through that. So if you schedule another lesson or buy a package, I mean, we definitely have enough for like one more lesson, but then we'll definitely want to look at some new stuff. So that's just to keep that in mind.